Hi, it's Kim, and today we are going to do a very gentle practice, and we are going to start on our back. So, have a blanket or a pillow or something to rest your head on if you would like it. But we are going to get started, and we're going to lay down on our back and keep our knees bent. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn, and we'll gently make our way down to our back. And the blanket behind us is just to keep the head elevated, the shoulders lifted a little bit. And it might feel good, it might not. You can move it out of the way if it's not comfortable. But let's just go ahead and kind of settle here. So we're going to bring the feet flat. We can rest our hands onto our belly, relax the shoulders, and let's close our eyes. Let's begin our practice here by taking 4 big deep breaths in and out through our nose. And as we take these big deep breaths, let's try to feel the belly rise and fall. Letting go of any thoughts, any judgments, just allowing ourselves to be present in this moment right here. Connecting with our breath and connecting with our mat. Let's go ahead and gently open the eyes. All right, we're going to take a gentle stretch here, starting with the arms. So let's take our right arm up and over. We're going to reach that arm up and towards the back. And then gently bring it back down. And same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift the arm up and overhead. Exhale, bring the arm back down. Let's do that one more time on both sides. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale and exhale. We're going to do the same thing with the legs. We're going to gently extend the legs out. So we'll start with that right leg. Inhale, extend the leg out straight. And exhale, bring it in. And switching sides. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring that foot in. Each side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to combine those two postures. So we're going to work opposites. So we're going to do the right leg and the left arm. So let's inhale the right leg and left arm out. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, bring it back together. And one more time on each side. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, so now we're just going to give our knees a great big hug. So let's pull those knees in, maybe rock a little bit side to side if that feels good, massaging the lower back. And maybe it feels good to really round the back more. We can pull the forehead up towards the knees, curl up nice and tightly here. And then let's gently release our head back down. We're going to gently drop the feet back down to the floor. And we're going to come into a bridge flow. So we're going to bring our arms down by our side, palms flat. Let's walk the heels right underneath the knees. Roll those shoulders underneath the back a little bit. And really feel secure and steady here. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the hips up towards the sky. So we'll inhale, lift up into our bridge pose. And exhale, lower back down to the floor. Let's go ahead and do that a few more times. Inhale, lift, pressing into the feet and the shoulders. And exhale, gently lower. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Good. One more time. Inhale, and exhale. All right, so we are going to take a little stretch here. We're going to come into our pigeon pose on our back. So we're going to start with our right foot. We're going to cross it over the left thigh. Then we have a few options here. We can stay right here, or we can bring the other knee in towards our chest. So if we're feeling a good stretch on the outside of that right leg, we can stay right here. If we want to deepen this, we can bring that left knee in towards our chest, bring the hands behind the thigh. So we're being careful with the top of the knee joint. Relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes here. We'll take a couple big deep breaths. Again, in and out through our nose. Let's go ahead and gently release the hands from behind the leg. We'll drop the foot down, uncross the legs. We can take a second, just kind of move the knees side to side, kind of like windshield wipers, just to get some movement here. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll take the left ankle, cross it over the right thigh. And again, we can stay right here if we're feeling a good stretch, or we can bring that right knee in towards our chest. Again, hands come behind the thigh if we're coming for this option. Relaxing the shoulders. And again, we can close the eyes. We're going to stay here for a couple big deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. And again, in and out. Let's take one more big deep breath here. And as we exhale, gently release the foot back down to the floor. Uncross the legs. You can bring the arms out, maybe like cactus arms. Just open up the chest a little bit, and we'll drop those knees side to side again. Coming into those windshield wipers. One more time. Maybe it feels good to pause on one side. We can kind of hang out here for a couple breaths if that feels good. Just gently starting to stretch the bottom half here of our body. Wake up the legs and the hips. Good. Let's come right back to center. Excellent job. We are going to turn over. We're going to come into our cat and cow pose. So we'll gently make our way into our tabletop. And you can keep the blanket here or move it out of the way. But we're going to come into this tabletop position. And in our tabletop, we have our knees right underneath our hips. Our wrists are right underneath our shoulders. We're going to relax those shoulders down. Belly button comes in towards our spine. So we're nice and strong here in this tabletop. And then we're going to move. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our head, chest, and tailbone, coming into our cow pose. Really trying to lengthen through the spine from the crown of the head all the way out through the tailbone. And then as we exhale, we'll round the back, chin comes towards our chest, really press into the hands. Good, let's move back and forth. Inhale, lift into our cow pose. And exhale, round into our cat pose. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Coming right back into our tabletop. Excellent. So we are going to come into our spinal balance, focusing on just the legs here. So let's start by sending our right leg back behind us. And we're going to keep the toes down on the floor. So the toes down, we're going to kind of move the weight back a little bit. So you can use your hands to help you here. We're going to open up the back side of the leg. So getting a little stretch in the calf. And then let's shift that weight back to center and we'll lift the leg. So that right heel is in line with the hips. Our foot is flexed and active, so we're pressing back through the heel. And let's take a little rotation in the hip. Let's open the toes to the side and then rotate back down to the floor. And then we'll open and close. And one more time, open and close, and then we'll release back to our tabletop. Good. You can move the hips a little bit, maybe do another cow pose and a cat pose just in between. And then we'll come into the same thing on the other side. So we'll stretch that left leg back. We'll keep the toes down on our mat. And then let's shift the weight back into the heel. So really feel that stretch here. Take a nice big deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we'll shift back to center. Let's lift up the leg right in line with the hips. So keeping the belly button pulled in towards our spine nice and strong. And then we'll rotate the toes out to the side and back to the floor. And then rotate the toes open and closed. One more time, we'll open and close. And then let's release. Good, let's take a little rest here and we'll come into our child's pose. So we'll sit our hips back to our heels. We're going to rest the arms forward. I'm going to move this blanket right off to the side because we're going to come into our modified sun salutation. So let's go into our child's pose. Relax those arms down forward. The head comes to the floor. Now we have a few options. We can stay right here with the arms stretched out. We can also stack the hands, resting our forehead on our hands. Or we could also bring those arms back behind us. So choose an option here that feels the best for you. We'll take a couple big deep breaths in our child's pose. Really feel that breath moving through the body. Feel the lungs as they expand and the belly presses into the legs. Now let's go ahead and move into our sun salutations. So we're going to walk those hands forward if they're not there already. And on our inhale, we're going to come into a kneeling plank. So let's shift that weight forward. We're going to bring the knees back in line with the hips. And we're going to come all the way down here. So we've got our shoulders right on top of our wrists. A nice long line core is strong. Keep the elbows rotated in. We're going to lower all the way down to our belly. On our inhale, let's lift our chest and shoulders. So squeezing through the glutes, lifting up here, and gently relax. Good. Now from here, we're going to modify this press back just because we want to be mindful with the lower back. So we'll drop the elbows down towards the floor, and we're going to use this weight here into our forearms to press us back into our child's pose. So we're going to gently lift back and walk those arms back into our child's pose. Good. We can rest here. Take a big deep breath. And then let's repeat that sequence. So arms again extend out. On our next inhale, let's shift forward into our kneeling plank. And then exhale, lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. On our inhale, we'll lift up into our low cobra here. Exhale, relax. Let's drop the elbows. And then inhale, press ourselves back. Walk the elbows back into our child's pose. We'll take a big deep breath here again. Okay, let's do that sequence one more time. Stretching the arms out. Inhale, we'll come forward. Exhale, let's lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lifting up for our low cobra. Remember to squeeze the glutes, press the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, relax. Dropping those elbows down, we'll come up into our plank and move ourselves all the way back. Again, resting in our child's pose. Let's take 4 big deep breaths here in our child's pose. Again, whatever arm position feels best. Hands under the forehead, arms stretched out, or maybe the arms back by our legs. Take these last few moments of our practice and just reflect on how your body is feeling, how the breath feels as it moves through the body. And just be proud of the time that you've spent here right on your mat, making that time for you, giving your body strength and relaxation. Let's take one more big deep breath here. Excellent. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. And we're going to come into a seated position. So we'll just sit cross-legged on our mat. We'll bring our hands to our knees, lift the shoulders up, roll them down our back. Let's close the eyes. Again, bring that attention inward. Notice how the breath is moving through the body. Notice that peace and the stillness within. And then gently tucking the chin towards our chest. Let's bring the hands together at heart center. Inhaling in peace, joy, and love. And exhaling anything that no longer serves us. The light in me honors and is grateful for the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time.